In the last couple of lessons, we mentioned the term reactions, of how reactions take place inside of cells. Now, reactions are usually interactions between different types of particles. Particles could be atoms or they could be compounds. And when it comes to talking about particles and reactions, one of the things that we need to talk about is how particles move around in the cells, or cell transport. So today, we're going to have a look at some examples. Now, usually when we talk about the movement of particles, we talk about them in terms of the concentration gradient. So what do I mean by that? So let's look at that hill as an example. Let's say the top of that hill is a high concentration and the bottom of the hill is a low concentration. So you got this little triangle or gradient. So you got the concentration gradient. So today, to demonstrate the different types of cell transport, I brought out old Rusty over here, a bike that I shamelessly stole off one of my nephews, and let's see how it goes today. Unfortunately, as I was preparing for the demonstration, I suddenly realized why was it that I had stopped using old Rusty. It seems the seat got wet and it sort of ripped through. And it's all wet, water's coming out. Moist.
Oh, don't say that word.
Moist.
Don't worry guys, I think I got just fixed. A modification like this would make Pimp My Ride jealous. Some of you probably don't know what that is. Look it up on Google. The first type of transport we're going to look at is diffusion. Okay, this is the movement of particles from a high concentration to a low concentration. Looking at our example, that would be rolling down that hill. Now, as you can imagine, I don't actually need to push myself to roll down the hill. I don't need to pedal down. I will just move by myself. It'll be a passive process. Passive being a very key word that you guys need to remember. So, as you can imagine, it's probably a good idea that I wear a helmet for this. Unfortunately, I can't afford one right now, so don't forget to drop me some dollars on buymeacoffee.com/InsanMusic. I did manage to steal some cool little gloves off my brother, and he doesn't know I'm using them, so let's see what his reaction is once he gets these gloves back.
Okay, recorded. Started.
Don't try this at home. I'm too short. Now, as you guys saw, I rolled down the hill, down the concentration gradient from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. I did not use any energy to do this, so it was a passive process. But one more key point to remember is that in nature, when we're looking at the diffusion of particles, they quite spread out in random directions. It's not quite a straight line such as this. But what about the movement of particles from a low concentration to a high concentration?
Are you okay? Are you alright?
As you can see, when I had to go against the concentration gradient, as opposed to how it was a passive process in diffusion, this particular time I had to use a lot of energy to push myself against that gradient. So this type of transport is actually called active transport. So diffusion is going from high to low passively, and active transport is going against the concentration gradient using energy.